In today's fight news, we start off with former light heavyweight champion Jamal Hill making a statement after his main event knockout loss at the hands of current champion Alex Pereira. Hill wrote on X, "I dared to be great against adversity and against a great challenge and came up short at the highest level in the world. I answered the call twice on short notice to fight for a championship that most will never fight for. On to the next. At Yuri Prohaska, let's finally make it happen. To the people that support me, I'm good. Don't let the haters get you. I'm winning in life, so having to eat a loss like a man is what it is. They will be quiet when the next man drops." As we reported on yesterday's episode, featherweight champion Ilia Topuria responded to the post-fight interview done by newly crowned BMF champion Max Holloway. On his X account, he called for a fight later in the year with Max and said that he'll be the first to knock him out, and also quoting Bible verse Philippians 4:13. The BMF Holloway replied back on X stating, "It's all love. I'll be seeing you soon." Jeremiah 51:20. While doing an interview with ESPN Deportes, featherweight champion Topuria had this to say about the epic BMF title fight between Holloway and Gaethje. "Well, it was good. Nothing special, to be honest. The ending was only an exchange of punches without any strategy. Both just throwing punches, zero defense, hands down, and that kind of thing can happen, but that is something that would never happen with me because I think inside the octagon. Holloway is a really easy fight, as usual. I know people will come at me for saying this. This is what I think. I don't see anything special. He is basic. Too basic." Topuria also jabbed at Max, saying, "What he couldn't do in 90 minutes, I did in 9. Referring to his second round knockout of former featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski, who holds 3 wins over Holloway. On the MMA Hour, the original BMF, Jorge Masvidal, had this to say about Holloway. "He understands the code of the BMF. One of us here gotta be no longer on their feet when this bell rings, man." Masvidal also had some things to say about the former BMF champion, Gaethje, stating, "I'm hoping our paths cross in the UFC, because this would be like a very good comeback fight for me. Easy fight for me." Gamebred also said that if the UFC would be willing to let him do 3 boxing matches, he'll come back to the organization. In regards to his upcoming boxing match with former BMF title challenger Nate Diaz, this is what Masvidal had to say. "I want him effing dead. I want him laying there for 3-4 minutes unconscious." Gamebred also took the opportunity on the MMA Hour to call out Jake Paul. "You're talking about the PFL? What the F are you going to do in MMA? Are you kidding me? You can't even box. Now all of a sudden you're doing effing MMA? I'd kick your effing kneecap off your fragile body, you dumb mother. Don't ever bring up MMA, you disrespectful piece of sh." When he was asked about the potential matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Bo Nickel, his former training partner, Masvidal had this to say, "If Khamzat gets into wrestling with Bo, Khamzat effing loses. He'll effing break the dude." After his split decision win over former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan had this to say during the MMA Hour. "When I left the octagon, right away Hunter Campbell came and said, 'June 1st, Islam Makhachev.' I said, I gotta think. 7 weeks left, I can't jump too fast. I gotta rest a little bit and then have a camp. If it was at the end of June, I would take that fight. I want to be ready and I want to have a full training camp. Why, if I'm number 1 contender, why I gotta take the risk?" Tsarukyan also posted on his X account, "I'm fighting the winner," talking about the newly announced matchup between lightweight champion Islam Makhachev and former interim lightweight champion Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Also on the MMA Hour, former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling shared his thoughts of his most recent UFC 300 victory over featherweight contender Calvin Kattar. We all have these thoughts that go through our head, and it's just like, what the heck am I still doing here? I got a couple million in the bank. Why am I still doing this? Referring to his pre-fight jitters that he had going up against Kattar. Sterling also shared that if he had a loss to Kattar in his featherweight debut, he would have retired from the sport. The Funkmaster also had jokes for newly crowned BMF champion Max Holloway, stating, "Max, stay your ass at 155. We don't want you back down here." When asked about the praise he was given by UFC president Dana White, Sterling had this to say when speaking to Ariel Helwani. "I didn't expect him to say that. He could have easily just been like, well, we all know how a Sterling fight goes." He could have easily said that, and then the people would have all over me again. I thank him for that. That was cool. That's all I ever wanted for him, to kind of at least make me somewhat of an ally. Coming off her impressive UFC debut against former bantamweight champion Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison said that she wasn't scared of her opponent, but she was scared of the weight, speaking on the drastic weight cut she had to make in order to get down to the bantamweight limit. The former gold medalist Harrison also said that the morning of the fight, she was 154, and by the time she got to the venue, she was already back up to 160 pounds. When asked what she'd like to do next at bantamweight, Harrison had this to say, "I heard that Pennington is hurt all of a sudden. If she can't fight right now, I'm happy to fight whoever this summer for a title. If it's for a title, I will make myself available. I would love to fight on June 29th. F it, my time is now." Coming off of an impressive UFC 300 knockout, featherweight standout Diego Lopez shared with Ariel Helwani what he said to Dana White after his knockout victory. "I asked Dana to give me my rematch with Movsar Evloev on International Fight Week. After I finish with Evloev, I will go to Spain," referring to the hometown of the featherweight champion Ilia Topuria. Lopez also had this to say about former opponent Movsar Evloev. "He can say all he wants about guys don't want to fight him, but I'll fight him. I'm here." Also a guest on the MMA Hour, lightweight standout Renato Moicano said that he is looking forward to a matchup against Paddy Pimblett, stating, "He congratulated me about the fight. I'm not going to talk too much about him, but if you want smoke, I'm going to make him easy effing money, brother. I know you're being nice. I know all that but don't forget, Moicano wants money. In God we trust. All the others pay in cash, mother." Speaking of Moicano, lightweight contender Beneil Dariush told Submission Radio that he thinks either Moicano or Dan Hooker will be his next opponent. In other MMA fight news, coming off his disappointing loss at UFC 300, lightweight Jim Miller disclosed that he broke his hand in the first round and also broke his toe, and in total received 23 stitches after his loss to Bobby Green. Current heavyweight champion John Bones Jones recently got into it with a fan on X who said, "Why do you think fighting a 40-plus-year-old firefighter will do anything for your legacy?" In which Jones responded, "Yeah, screw the biggest fight of his life and all the money him and his family were supposed to make. Let's just bump him out of the way. Yeah, that's how life works," referring to missed opportunities he seems to have had during his career as champion of the light heavyweight division. Lastly, we finish up with updates to the UFC rankings. At men's featherweight, both Aljamain Sterling and Diego Lopez enter the top 15, Sterling at number 8, Lopez at number 14. At men's lightweight, Arman Tsarukyan goes up 3 spots to number 1, Beneil Dariush up 1 spot to number 6, Max Holloway enters the rankings at number 9, and Renato Moicano up 3 positions to number 10. In the women's bantamweight division, Kayla Harrison enters the rankings at number 4. At men's light heavyweight, Yuri Prochazka goes up 1 slot to number 1, while Magomed Ankalaev goes up to number 2. And at women's strawweight, Tatiana Suarez goes up one place to number 1, while Yan Shonan goes down one slot to number 2. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate the content, like and subscribe.